Alright, it's going to be a quick video, me talking about the upcoming NBA playoffs. Now, I'm only going to talk about the Eastern Conference. Here for the West, and go find another video. My team is the Chicago Bulls, so right now I only care about the Eastern Conference. Um, so the games for the final day of the season basically have not started yet. But regardless of whether we play Brooklyn or Indiana, I'd say Chicago is pretty much set. Worst case scenario, if Chicago loses this game to Washington and we have to play Indiana, then you already know that maybe there's a big conspiracy. Maybe the NBA wants to see Chicago versus Miami that badly, you know. But we'll be good no matter who we play, to be honest. Indiana, personally, is the bigger threat, to me. Indiana is just stacked, knows how to play great D. Brooklyn is a fairly new team. So even if Brooklyn does lose to Chicago in the first round, it's not a bad thing, really. I mean, if you're a Nets fan, you're like, hell yeah, it is. But it's like when you look at the teams, when you stack up the Brooklyn team versus the Chicago team, Chicago, you got Noah, Boozer, Dame, all All-Stars. Well, Boozer's a former All-Star, but we're still going to count that. And if Rose returns, you got an MVP, and you got possibly Jimmy Butler, one of the better swingmen on the Eastern Conference, as the front line. You got Marco Bellinelli, who's basically a poor man's Ginobili, can shoot the three. Nate Robinson. What more can I say about Nate? Kirk Heinrich, great defender, spot up shooter. Taj Gibson, watch his dunks on Wade, and Nazi Muhammad, who nothing special. And then you throw that against Brooklyn. And I know, yeah, you casual fans are just going to look at the star power. You got Darren Williams, who can do anything with a basketball. Joe Johnson, a clutch shooter. And then everyone else is basically a hustle player. You got, Gerald Wallace, heart and hustle. Reggie Evans, basically the same, heart and hustle. And you got Brook Lopez, all-star, but a little soft in the paint at times, and needs Evans in the paint for that nastiness. And also, don't forget that Brook Lopez pulls a LeBron in the fourth quarter. He's done that many times during the season. On the Brooklyn bench, you got Andre Blatch, Marshawn Brooks. I mean, they're good players, but it's like, and then you got Chris Humphries, Kim Kardashian's estranged husband, and C.J. Watson, former Chicago Bull three-point shooter, and Keith Bogans, great defender and a good three-point shooter. When you stack that against Chicago, it's like, man, plus the Chicago coaching versus the Brooklyn coaching, the depth of their benches. And if Brooklyn does go to the Eastern Conference Finals, do you honestly think they're going to stop Miami? No. The only team that can stop Miami, there's only two teams on the East Coast that can stop Miami, and that's Chicago and Indiana. New York fans, you're not going to do it this year. As long as you make it out of the first round of the playoffs, quit your bitching. You're a three-point shooting team. Defense needs a little shape. It's like New York recently remembered what defense was once they got Kenyon Martin. But you got Tyson Chandler on there, but it's like everyone completely forgets about, defense. Melo going for the scoring title, and it's not on Melo. It's not Melo's fault. Just saying, man. It's not. New York is not going to get past Miami. It's not going to get past Miami in a 7-game series. Chicago and Indiana are the teams with the best chances. Chicago with Derrick Rose, who can come back any day. Any day he finally decides to come back. Versus the Miami Heat. That's what I'm pulling for. And I'm pulling for Chicago to win. As a Bulls fan, I am always going to pull for Chicago to beat any team. Cleaned off my fucking all-black J's a minute ago because it is Chicago tradition to wear all-black shoes during the playoffs. As long as Chicago makes it past the first round this year, and also keep in mind, if you go back and watch last year's playoff game, the entire team didn't wear all black shoes. It's bad luck. You didn't wear all black shoes, and look where it got you. Two key players injured, and the entire bench mob pretty much got desecrated. So I'm not going to do Chicago versus an Indiana stack up. At the end of the day, that's going to be a grinded out. Every game is going to be a grinded out game because they're so tough defensively. But New York getting past Boston in the first round. Boston is the last team you want to play in the first round. A lot of people will say they're old, but A's don't come too much into play in the first round. Maybe in the finals, but in the first round, Boston is the last team you want to play. I mean, they're missing Rondo, but it's like they're not bleeding from it. The team actually looks just as strong without him. You still got Jason Terry, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce. You got Avery Bradley. You got Jeff Green. You know, and you got Doc Rivers coaching. I mean, Celtics are the last team the Knicks want to play. And you New York Knicks fans are going to see that. You're not going to get those open threes. In a 7-game series against Boston, those open threes are not going to come easy. Jason Kidd going to have to get in a time machine and get young again. Start driving that lane a little more. Because, man, and then you got to go in the lane. I'm also going to be watching Kevin Garnett and Carmelo because that Honey Nut Cheerio shit was funny as hell last time. I will be watching that shit. Milwaukee versus Miami. We can only pray that Monta Ellis or someone on the Milwaukee Bucks gets a hot hand for at least 1 or 2 games to at least try to drag this a little bit. I'm calling for a sweep, to be honest, but I'm hoping Milwaukee surprises everyone. I really do, because I remember, a few years ago, everyone just ruled out the Hawks to just get dominated by the Bulls. And Atlanta came out just and fought Chicago every game. So I'm hoping for Milwaukee to do a little bit of that. I'm hoping Milwaukee shuts a lot of people up and opens up some eyes. There's a lot of talent on that roster. Ilyasova, you got Redick over there now. Monta Ellis, Brandon Jennings. When he's not turning the ball over, it's pretty good. It's just bench depth is what's really going to kill them against the Heat. And they're not going to be able to go up the hole that much, not with Birdman up in there. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. I'll probably watch the first 1 or 2 games just to see, how good they match up. But I think I covered everything basically. Oh yeah, the Hawks. They lost Lou Williams, so I haven't watched many Hawks games lately. As soon as Lou Williams, who's one of my favorite players, went down, I was kind of like, man, I thought they would tank, but they're actually doing pretty good. I still don't see them pushing for the finals trophy, so it's kind of like it's hard to kind of really take them seriously. They got Korver, Al Horford, one of the best at what he does. Josh Smith, when he doesn't disappear in the fourth, is pretty good. I'm looking forward to the playoffs. Go Bulls. Wear your black shoes, Chicago. Wear your black shoes. We don't want no one to get injured. It's for good luck, people. Clean your black shoes off and get ready for the playoffs. Go Chicago, D Rose. We don't need you for the first round, but we will need you in the second round. So for a D Rose comeback, go Bulls. I am out.